Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where today we're going to be taking a look at the Marvel Comics, Marvel Legends, comic book wave, Adam Warlock, which does not want to stand. And then you got Banshee and ROM, Space Knight. These are the three that I wanted the most. Miles too, I reviewed him a while ago by himself. But these guys were like big hitters to me. Dakins looks cool. He looks fine if you're a Dark Avengers fan. I might get him just to have him because he is an X-Men character. And then the Iron Man is a cool suit. These were the more essential characters for me. Those are going to be probably more like if there's a day where I can't figure out something to buy, and there's a lull in the action figure world for me. Those are probably like something I'll get. Or if they really start making way on the Dark Avengers, which with that new Build-A-Figure wave, there's a Dark Avenger Spider-Man in it. I preferred look for that Dark Avenger Spider-Man, but he is in that wave. So maybe they're going to start completing that, giving us updated Hawkeye, because I do kind of like some of the looks, I'm not a big fan of the Dark Avengers, if I'm being honest. I do think that Norman's Iron Man suit, the Iron Patriot suit, is really cool, though. I will admit that. But yeah, these are three really important characters that it's really good that we got action figures of finally. Banshee is a long time coming. ROM, this is like only the second action figure ever of ROM. The first one was like this really old. I think it was like an 8-9 inch toy, like a really big, basic toy. This is a character I never thought we'd get, and no one really thought we'd ever get. And yeah, he's really interesting to go look up like the past of him and why we haven't gotten figures of him and stuff. So he's pretty cool. And then we needed an updated Adam Warlock. I've never gotten an Adam. This is nice to have because, Infinity Gauntlet, I actually have this exact comic right here. So yeah, I don't have a lot of physical comics, but this is one I do have because it's a very important story to me and I really like it. I need to start collecting more physical comics because I mostly just read them online. But yeah, I do hope we get a more classic Adam Warlock eventually, but this one, at this point, this is technically classic, so yeah, let's just get these guys open and we'll take a look at them. We're going to start with Adam. You see the rest of the wave on the back. You can see the actual comic. I like that you can see the comic from all of them. And yeah, that Ultimate Iron Man is dope. I do like that suit look. And he'll go really good with the Ultimate Cap. So maybe I have to build an Ultimate Universe. Because there's Miles too. We got Miles. Not the best figure. I wish these hips weren't like that. It is a great figure besides the hips. But yeah, so we'll just open it up. I'm not even going to pause the recording to open this guy up. We're just going to take this motherfreaker out. Alrighty, he's out of the packaging. And now, I don't really know how you're supposed to thread the cape on these. I hate the way they actually thread the cape through like that. I honestly get very scared of ripping something or ruining something. So, this might be the only one I open on camera because this is rough, man. But we got him. Okay, we got him-ish. Now let's see. What I would do is this. Pop his head off and then do that. Yeah, that's probably the easiest way to do that. And it will actually just keep the cape off while we look at him. Because I want to. And then we'll get his accessories out, which I really do like the accessories. I think he has probably the best accessory out of this line, if I had to say. It'd be him or ROM, maybe? Banshee just has hands. Miles just has hands. ROM has cool guns. And then you could debatably call his cape an accessory too. So maybe, yeah, he's got some good accessories. We'll get those in a second. But this is what the figure looks like. He's very basic. Very much matches the aesthetic of like a lot of space characters. So like you look at someone like Vulcan, which fittingly they're on the same body, or someone like Corsair, which is also on the same body. They kind of all have the same vibe. And Corsair is not on the same exact body as Vulcan. He's less defined, but he's that basic same type of body. And then, you just got this body is pretty much better in every way than the old Bucky Cap body, because you can get it on Black Panther, See, so they do reuse this body a lot, but it's a good reusable body in my opinion. It fits a lot of characters, and it fits them well. We'll look at size comparisons more in a minute, but I just wanted to say, yeah, he looks great. We'll get that cape back on. And I'm sure everyone knows the articulation for this guy, so I'm not really going to go over that. All you need to know is you can, you know, do the normal stuff. There's butterfly joints, there's ab crunch, feet, arms, legs, everything, you know. It's going to be a little hindered because of the cape. I recommend getting a custom cape, but that's just me. And then for hands on the body, he has like a trigger finger hand, which is for the comic. I wish I would have just given him 2 grip hands like this. And then, you know, gripping hands do mean he has something grip. He has his staff. I don't remember what this is called, but I'm pretty sure it does have a name, right? And I always like the staff. It's very bird-like, so, you know, you could put him with Lalandra or the upcoming Deathbird if you wanted to. And then he has 3 alternate hands in the fists. And you have my favorite is this Infinity Gauntlet that goes on him. This is going to be right on him. You know, so it's going to be hard to have him holding the staff because that hand's the trigger finger for the comic. But, I mean, he got to have this up in the center of the display. He just looks so nice. And I wish I had a Thanos to compare him to, but I don't have one of those right yet. I'm going to get that Gamerverse one, and then I will have one. And then that's the comic. The printing on these comics are always really nice. Yes, it's a bit hard to see all the faces in there, but it does a really good job. You got Thanos up front, you can see Gladiator, there's Death, maybe that's Hulk down there with Cap. Is that Madam Hydra? It's actually easier to see it through the camera than it is in real life. I don't think that's Madam Hydra down there. That looked like her for a second. Or maybe Polaris. I can't tell. I don't have the original comic right here with me, so I can't exactly look at it and be like, yeah, that's that. Okay, and the trigger finger actually does work well with this. I just kind of wish they gave him 2 grip hands. But, like I said, I'm going to give him this awesome-ass Infinity Gauntlet. Because, let's go. I do wish he had a more subdued face with him, like an alternate head. Because I liked having this face. It looks great. But, a more subdued, you know, face would be nice, too. And, like, a snapping finger would be cool. Or, like, a power-wielding hand, like, something like that. But he does have probably the best accessories out of the line. So, yeah, next we're going to do Banshee. I'm going in order of which I'm most excited for. And don't get me wrong, I'm really excited for Banshee. He's a essential X-Men that I feel like if you want, not even just giant size X-Men, just X-Men in general, I feel like if you want to complete an X-Men team, you need Banshee. And this is a great, you know, figure for him. This is probably the best version of him we're ever going to get, unless Mezco did like a soft goods version with an actual like soft goods cape that had wires in it and stuff. But I don't think we're going to be getting that. I also forgot to mention, these all have their own like artwork. I really like their artwork. Like, you can tell this one has the X-Men in the background. This one there's Silver Surfer, Iron Man, Doctor Strange. Is that Vision? I think that's Vision. That's Marvel Boy, maybe? Can't really tell. Is that She-Hulk? You got Cyclops, you got Cap. So yeah, that's really cool. And then this one you got all the characters, all the Uncanny X-Men characters. And you even got the original X-Men up at the top. So I really like that look for the boxes. I like that they put a little bit of effort into the boxes. You know, it's just the trash, but for the inbox collectors, which I feel like you shouldn't be an inbox collector, it's kind of, I don't know, it feels weird to me and wrong to be an inbox collector. But I understand. Some people just like to look at them in the boxes. And these boxes are certainly really cool artwork-wise. So I'm glad to have them. And I'm struggling to open up this guy. I forgot I had a knife next to me. Let's just cut him out with his plastic prison, huh? Not him, but his hands. His hands are the hard part. I haven't gotten to the figure yet. I'm going to pause the recording and we'll be right back. Alrighty, unpausing the recording. We're back with Banshee. Oh, Banshee. He looks great. Besides these things, these tabs, which I get, they have to do that for safety. He looks awesome. You do this, and then that. It's the same thing as, like, I wish they would have done this with that new Black Bolt, because that's kind of the same vibe that I would want from them, aside from these things. But you can clip those down as far as possible. But I wish Mezco would do... These are the type of characters Mezco needs to do, in my opinion. Like a Banshee with, you know, this actually sewn to the body, not having crazy-ass clips on him. And then Black Bolt they did, but my Black Bolt came horribly, so I didn't have a good experience with that, so I had to basically tore that figure apart trying to fix it. Did not work. And then I really wish they'd do a Spider-Man with web wings, but yeah, this is that reuse from that the other one. I don't know why they did the X-Men training uniform before this version, but this is reused from that body, and it still looks great, and I'm really glad to have him. And he will go perfectly on the shelf next to his daughter. Speaking of his daughter, I think the colors are good between them. They're not exactly consistent, but they're not exactly... They don't look like they're not. The one thing I wish she came with a screaming head. That's the only thing that would make these two work even better together. You know, she has the same types of powers he has. So, he came with a screaming head. And I really like that head. It looks like a different, like, era of him. He's got less mutton chops and stuff, but it could also just be everything blowing back. That looks nice. And then, for some reason, I know why they give you grip hands. That's fine and good. I mean, this one's a trigger hand, this one's a grip hand. Nice to get that. You only get one of these hands, and it's annoying because Banshee flies. He's gonna need 2 flying hands. I'm lucky enough that I have a couple different Cyclops eye. The yellow's a little different. I'm gonna try to match it as well as possible. But that's also, I mean, it kind of looks a little weird for flying poses. This guy, he's awesome, but the accessories just... Hasbro, I gotta say it, they don't kill it with accessories sometimes. They really don't. And then as far as the comic book goes, he comes with his, you know, the Uncanny X-Men #1. This is the first appearance of Storm, I believe. So I'm going to get that Storm from the 97 2-pack with the brown suit Wolverine. I need to have brown suit Wolverine. I have a couple blue suit Wolverines that we'll look at. I have a Colossus, I have a Cyclops, and I have a Nightcrawler. I don't have a Thunderbird yet. So we'll look at that and see how he goes with all them. And then that has Marvel Legends on the back. I don't like that part, but, you know, gotta do what you gotta do. So, yeah, he's great, and you can get flying articulation on this guy. Wish he had an upper ball joint and a reverse ab crunch joint, crunch joint thing, but it is what it is. And these, I feel like mine are glued on weird, so they don't exactly look supernatural on him, but, yeah, you're gonna be able to get flying poses out of this guy. And just as long as you, even if you don't want to clip those off, as long as you just, you know, particularly pose your figure particularly in a way you want, get the angles right, you can have them looking great. Mine's probably going to be like this on the shelf, like, probably like that, screaming, because that's how he uses his power, or probably actually more like this. That's why it would be nice to have the other joint, so he'd look a little more natural, but... And next, this is the one I was most excited for out of the wave. Admittedly, not knowing the most about ROM, I'm not like ROM super fan or anything. I don't read all of his appearances, but I know who ROM is. I just, you know, he's not like Cyclops or Spider-Man level for me, but he's not quite, you know, an F-tier level character. He's like just he's a cool like Space Knight, and I like that. So I'll be back with the figure, and we'll take a look at him. And so since we did this with the other, I figured we'd look at ROM's. His art's not as good, but it's still cool. That very RoboCop looking, like, I don't know, he looks like RoboCop right there. Terminator RoboCop style. Really nice. I'll be right back. And here he is, the most exciting figure for me in this line. Oh, look at this beautiful robot, but best articulated probably in the line. Oh, he's beautiful. I'm so glad to have this guy. And if you don't have a ROM, you need to pick up a ROM because this guy is just a badass. He definitely gives Major Silver Surfer vibes and Ultron vibes, obviously, because he's silver and a robot. But, I mean, he's obviously a very different character than them. And for his accessories, you get ROM's Space Knight #1, which looks great. That is one thing I will say about this comic book line gimmick. All the comics just look so good. They all look amazing. I mean, you love it or hate it. These look really good in like you put these in like a display. You do like a little comic book shop or something. These are all gonna look really cool together. So, yeah, I really like these. I don't like. I guess I kind of do like that there's no Build-A-Figure because you can pick and choose. Like I didn't have to get that Dakin, and I might not ever get that Dakin. I might get that Iron Man because I feel like I could repaint that into a Lex Luthor suit one day, and I also just like that Iron Man suit, so who knows. But you don't have to, get the whole line. Like, I didn't have to get like a Black Winter or a Red Widow to complete my Zabu, stuff like that. So I do like this concept. I don't like that they're like the same price as they're with not that many accessories, and the comic book takes up an accessory slot. I kind of wish they just, instead of that, gave us a full comic book. I feel like they could do that. I feel like Marvel Legends and Hasbro has enough money and they make enough from this line that they could do a full-on comic book. So, Toy Biz did it back in the day. That's probably why they went out of business. Who knows? This guy looks great. And for articulation, he is beautiful. We're just going to reverse ab crunch. Ball joint up at the top. I mean, head doesn't move up the best, but he's a robot, so I don't mind it. Can look down a little bit, which is good because he's a tall guy. You got good tiltage. Arms. Wish there was a butterfly joint in there, but I don't know how they exactly would do a butterfly joint with this shape. You've got bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. You can kick forward about that far, kick out about that far. Thigh swivel down there. Upper, double joints. You got forward facing for rocker. He's got chunky ass feet. He looks awesome. I mean, what can I say? He is dope. I think this is how I'm going to display him, right? Just like this, just waving. But you also have other options. You get a fist, which I wish you got 2 of these. I hate when they don't do pairs. And then you get another gripping hand. He doesn't get trigger finger hands because his guns don't really have a trigger on them. But I wish we got 2 of these and 2 of these. That would be cool. And then you get the guns. And one of them is called the Incapacitator, if I'm correct, right? And then there's like a compensator. They have names. I forgot what they're called. But you have that blast that you can put on either gun. Either this one or his other gun, which I'm going to actually just put in the hand so you can see what it looks like in another hand. That gun, you can also put the blast on that one. So I'll probably pose him with the bigger gun and then have him just waving because I think that looks cool. So yeah, let's get these all, put up here and we will do some size comparisons. So let's get our boy Banshee right here. And then we might be able to do ROM like that. Yeah, ROM can go in the middle. He's so big. And then we'll go at him like this. All right, so size comparisons. We're going to first start off with the Miles Morales from this line. He's small, as you can see. He definitely is a small character, which is nice. I mean, it's a character that needs to be small. I'm going to just show Black Cat because I like her. And then Maximum Series Spidey. They're posed around. I mean, I had them, doing some stuff. But that's what they look like. I didn't really want to take them out of a pose, if I'm being honest with you. And then, I already did this comparison, kind of, but here's Black Panther and Vulcan. And then, sorry. For this next comparison, we're going to take Banshee out of here, and we're just going to do these more space characters. We'll go back to Banshee in a minute. You have Corsair, which looks really good. You get Nova, which looks really good. I mean, it's nice to have another Guardian with Adam. Speaking of Guardians, let's pull this guy out of here. we have Star-Lord, which I love this figure, and I think they look good together. And then we'll pull Nova out of here. And here's Icarus from the Zabu Bath with the head from, well, who was it? It was the West Coast Avengers Hank Pym. So, and then as far as space characters, we have these guys. Here is Silver Surfer. I figured with the new one coming, we'll see what this one looks like up here. I will be getting that new one because he's pinless. And then another character that probably should be pinless, Yondu. Sorry, I forgot to say his name. And then two recent pickups I actually got, which I didn't do a review on because they're not complete and they were not opened, or they were already opened and everything. So here's the Marvel Select Rocket, which is the best Rocket figure on the market if you're looking for a Rocket figure, in my opinion. Comic book Rocket, I should say. We got him. And then we have the Entertainment Earth 5-pack Groot, and this is probably the best Groot. Up there with probably the Marvel Select comic Groot. But these two came together. I got them for $30, which I thought was kind of a steal. So I picked them up, and they look great together. And then I have two more characters that are X-Men related. We have Iron Man from Secret Wars and Captain America from Secret Wars with the Bucky Cap shield. So that's what they look like together. And then we're going to take ROM and add more like out. And now we're going to just focus on Banshee. So for Banshee, first we're going to start off with Wolverine because I know he was on the team. And this is kind of a bit of a classicer Wolverine. Or we have the Marvel Legends Hot Claws Wolverine. And that's what he kind of looks like crouched down with him. This is the one I will probably use on... Well, I kind of just pose this guy around more, if I'm being honest. I don't use him too much. We got Banshee and his daughter. And then, just to get him in with another non-X-Men character, here's the West Coast Avengers 5-pack Silver Centurion Iron Man. And now on to the really important stuff. So, like I said, I don't have that Storm or, what is it? I keep wanting to call him Warpath. Thunderbird. But I do have a couple of this version of the X-Men. Giant size X-Men. Here's Kurt and here's, Kurt Wagner and Colossus. So, that's what they look like together. I put some things on Kurt because I was doing like a ninja thing. I kind of think they look kind of cool. But, yeah. So, that's what I don't... Like I said, I don't have the rest of those characters right now. But once I do, rest assured, you will get some comparisons with them. Here is Cyclops, the Mezco Classic Cyclops. And here's the more modern Jim Lee Marvel Legends Cyclops. And they're all about the same size. So, that's nice. Now let's bring the other characters in. Here we got... Alrighty. So here is everything we have. I think this is honestly a pretty good wave from what I've gotten. Certainly don't hate any of the figures I've gotten from this wave, if I'm being honest. I think they all look great. And it's nice to have another character in... You know, well, honestly, these are 3 new characters for the shelf. It's nice to have another X-Men, is what I was going to say. But these two are going on a shelf, too. This will go with all the Avengers and stuff in the cosmic section of the Avengers display. ROM's just going to go on the display. He's not exactly something I associate with anybody, but ROM. I'll probably get that new, what was it? The Chris Star, the bow guy. Probably get him. I think his name's just Warbow, right? I'll probably get him and then go back and get that Chris Star. Maybe put them together with the, you know, the one with, frick, I can't, this, Sam on a Supreme, I can't think of the name right now, I'm sorry, I'm really bad with names especially when I'm sick, holy shit. But, yeah, the Squadron Supreme, got it, eventually. I think I put him with that, like, kind of group, you know, group of characters that... Not everyone knows, maybe with the Eternals, and then I would do Corsair and Vulcan on that, but those go on the X-Men shelf with Scott and, you know, everyone else. I was going to name a bunch of other X-Men. I can't really name anyone right now because I'm so sick. But, yeah, I really like this wave, and the new wave looks even better. Every character in that wave is a must-get, in my opinion, because I want to start doing the Astonishing X-Men now that they seem to actually be trying to complete that team. And if that Kitty and Colossus 2-pack is a real thing that's been rumored, that's an instant buy. And then I'll go back retroactively and get Scott and Emma and Wolverine. But yeah, so that's an instant get. Gray suit Black Widow, instant get. My favorite look for Black Widow. And then the rest are just characters I need, we all need. Besides maybe Silver Surfer, but the new one's pinless and it looks a lot better, so I'm still going to get that Silver Surfer. And then I might retire this one into something. I can't think of what to do with him right this second, but I will find something, I'm sure. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. Bye.